What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Cool Colas here, and you are now tuning into a new video on my channel. But before we get all into the topic, I would love for you to do the usual. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the bell icon so that you get notifications for whenever I come out with new content. And when you're finished listening to this video, make sure that you leave me a comment. That way I can come back to it later and I can see what you had to say and respond back to it. For today's topic, I want to tell you all some really cool news. I'm writing a book, if you did not know, if you do not follow me on social media, specifically on Instagram. And the book that I am writing is actually going to be about anti-Black media tropes. And I wanted to tell you all a little bit about it and get you all informed and hyped up for what is going to come. This is a book that I have been writing for the past year or so. I created a manuscript. I created the topics I wanted to talk about, the categories, the chapters and whatnot. And then I finally went through the editing process to try to get this book laid out properly. And that's where I'm at this point, finishing up the editing process so this can go into publication. I'm self-publishing this book. And it is a trope book that talks about media tropes, specifically anti-Black media tropes. The name of this book is going to be called the Pro-Black Blerd Series, exposing anti-Black media tropes the blurred way. Now, I understand that's a long topic. It's a real long topic. I get it, y'all. But the reason why it's so long is because this is just one book in a series of books that I'm doing. I wanted to do a Pro-Black Blerd series where I give perspectives on important topics in the Black community from the perspective of somebody who is a Black nerd. And one of the main things that I wanted to focus on to set the tone for what I want to talk about are the different images that we tend to see on television shows, movies, any televised media, and even video games that we see. Because the one thing that I want as a certified Black nerd, certified blerd, is for us as blerds to be empowered even in the spaces that we enjoy. Because there are a lot of TV shows and movies, especially like in that comic world in Marvel and DC, that have a lot of tropes that ultimately are anti-Black. And I think that there needs to be a discussion on the way these things show up, what it means, why are these things being done, who's doing them, and all the above. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. You might know of some people who are doing this. I don't. But I don't really see trope books that give a very specific pro-Black focus on the media narratives that are out there. But the thing is, I break it all down. And I'm not just talking about just the tropes. I talk about the categories that these tropes exist in. I talk about the psychology. I even give real world examples from my experiences and the things that I've been through when it comes to racism in my own life. And I do it from the perspective of somebody who not only just experienced these things, but has had the time to research and study why they appear the way that they do. And not only do I actually go through all these tropes, I also break down the agendas. I break down how audiences are affected and the types of people that are created as a result of these images. What I mean by that is you have certain viewers who are seeing these different tropes play out, but they may not know that these tropes are going on or maybe understand them. And it therefore causes them to take certain sides or to act in certain ways or to emulate these things in real life. And I talk about that as well too. I even go into debate strategies and the ways that we can converse with individuals who have been indoctrinated by the tropes that we see. So I break down the different ways that you should communicate with individuals and the different things that people are doing, like the different strategies that they're implementing in order for them to feel like they're trying to get their point across and that they're right. So I tell people or advise people how to deal with certain trolls, for a lack of better words. So I talk about all of that. I talk about solutions even, and what can we do as Blacks, as empowered Blacks, to create a better media. I talk about everything related to how we can even change our minds and teach other people about the way that we should think about a lot of the tropes that we see. Now, as far as this book goes, there's an introduction like there is in every book. There are 10 chapters in this book. And as of right now, this book is leaning somewhere around 300 pages. So you will get a lot of bang for your buck with this book. I'm very, very excited to launch it because I know it's going to be a big hit. I know it's going to be something that my followers are going to enjoy. A lot of you on YouTube will follow me here. I know a lot of you all are also going to enjoy this as well too. And it's going to be something that I know for a fact is going to help Black folks to be able to understand the things that they're watching and maybe even motivate them to either support or fund the creators like myself who will be creating my own comic book and my own content, or to actually be the individuals to create their own content that is going to be different from the kind of bigger corporations that we see like Marvel and DC. We really need to do our due diligence to build each other up and also to create platforms for ourselves so that other people who look like us, Black people that is, can enjoy the content that's there without feeling like they're being disrespected. But again, my main goal here was to create something that gave the pro-Black blurred perspective of the different tropes that we see. And this won't be the first book, as I said before. I'm also planning to do a blurred perspective on relationships book as well too for the Pro-Black Blerd series. And I also am planning to do an all-encompassing everything you need to know about Blerd's book from the Pro-Black Blerd perspective as well too. And the whole plan is for people to get a good understanding of Black culture from the Black nerd perspective. Because what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to Blerds is that Black people were the original Blerds. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't want to believe it, but it's the truth. We brought math and science and all of these great inventions and things like that to all these different cultures who try to pretend like we're not smart, try to pretend like we're not intelligent, try to pretend like we didn't invent so many great things and innovate society, and that we still don't innovate society and do great things. Meanwhile, a lot of people steal from us. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that we needed something that was pro-Black and something that was going to call out a lot of the agendas and the negative things that the dominant society was trying to do to Black people exclusively. And again, I want to make it clear when I'm talking about tropes, I'm not talking about some of the tropes that you may see with other cultures and races and all this other stuff. I'm not saying that they're not out there. I'm saying that the focus here is for Black people to understand the tropes that affect them specifically. I'm sick of all of these different race-related social justice books and lectures and organizations and things like that that aren't advocating for Blacks exclusively. They advocate for people of color and all of these other underserved groups and things like that. Again, I'm not saying that people don't need their advocacy, but there has not been a special attention paid to Black people, and that is what I'm here to do. I am here to give the knowledge that I know, the expertise that I know, taking the work that I've done professionally and even taking the work that I've done outside of that and putting it into something that's going to be empowering for us. So what I would love for y'all to do as you're listening to me is bookmark or whatever you got to do with this video, save it to watch later or on a playlist or whatever, and make sure you stay in touch with me as I put out more details about this book, where you can get it and everything else in between, because I really want you to get this book. It is going to be a lifesaver. It is going to be a very empowering book, and it is going to educate you on what you need to know about the stuff that you are putting into your heads when you are watching television, and it is indoctrinating you. And it also will be very crucial for your kids as well too, so you can teach them and have them understand the things that they're watching when they turn on the television or when they go to see a movie, or even sometimes when they're playing certain video games and things like that. These things are very important. As of right now, this book is going to be $25.99. Now, I say that because I want people to know what the price is up front, because I really, really want you guys to buy this book, because I know how empowering and helpful it is going to be for you all. And I really want to do a service to individuals who want to have a better media, especially for Black nerds like myself who really want to see something more empowering and don't want to be disrespected. So again, if you didn't remember what the title was, it's the Pro-Black Blerd Series, Exposing Anti-Black Media Tropes the Blerd Way. This is my second book that I'm writing, and it will be published May of 2024. So we got about a month and a half before it's out, and it's released, and it's on Amazon, and I have hard copies as well too. So other than that, what you can do is keep looking back, keep checking back as I'm giving more updates. And I will eventually even have it on my website where you can order it and I can ship it to you and things like that. So anyway, y'all, I hope you have a good rest of y'all's day. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's going to be more updates to come soon. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.